Located to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Justin Case. Frigid weather has been wreaking havoc the past 24 hours, and tonight we will have some of our coldest nights yet, causing many schools to close tomorrow due to the polar vortex. That is why we are continuing our severe weather alert day coverage. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery. He is tracking the latest. Andrew?
And Justin, you said it best. We continue to look at a very active one across eastern Kentucky, and we are looking at some light snow at this time. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pinpoint Doppler, and as we scan the skies, you can notice that light snow across portions of southern and southeastern Kentucky. Temperatures right now at 5 degrees in Jackson, 12 degrees in Hazard, with 6 degrees in Prestonsburg, and the feels like temperature is what's dangerous, but not as dangerous as it was yesterday. The temperatures are overall colder, there's no doubt about that, but it's 3 degrees in Moorhead, 5 degrees is what it feels like in Jackson, and 4 degrees is what it feels like in Harlan. Now, this cold air, it's going to be sticking around. The light snow going to be something we watch, and the cold temperatures will continue, but we will look at a warming pattern. We just have to get through tonight first. And Justin, for anyone that does have to be outside, make sure you bundle up, because it does not take long for some cold weather type related injuries or anything along frostbite, hypothermia to occur. And remember, we always like to say, keeping an eye on those pets or anyone that might be outdoors during the overnight hours as well.
Andrew, thank you very much. And like Andrew said, it really doesn't take long for these temperatures to become dangerous. But what happens when you break down and are stranded somewhere out in the cold? One state agency, Safe Patrol, is making sure everyone who has something like a flat tire or an empty gas tank is able to get help. I rode along with officials from the group today to find out how they can help you next time your vehicle is having trouble, especially during severe weather. Safe Patrol began back in 2007. While it runs year-round, in severe weather, they put in overtime.
We're working overtime to do our best to get out earlier and, stay later to make sure there's someone trying to patrol the roads. We're doing what we can to help, the public, in dangerous times like these.
Jason Meese drives around 300 miles a day on interstates, highways, and parkways, looking for broken down cars and people in need of help.
Gas and oil and water, and then we can change tires and just do minor roadside things to assist people.
Meese says in freezing temperatures, many people he helps are just thankful to sit in his truck to get warm again while he works on their vehicle.
You run out of gas and it's really below zero or something, it's really dangerous, and you can't really get away from your vehicle. So you have to be very careful there and make sure you're prepared.
The best part about Safe Patrol is that it's free for anyone. People in Laurel County are thankful to have that and say you can never be too prepared for cold weather on the roadway.
We do a survival pack, warm weather, candle, little extra food, water.
You mean the hand warmer things?
Yes,
we have
we have hand warmers.
And candles and of course food, that kind of thing.
And it's good advice. Try to plan ahead for whatever may come.
Just try to plan ahead. Try to make sure you know the weather situation you're going into.
Planning ahead for unforeseen events in unpredictable weather. The hours of Safe Patrol are normally from 6 in the morning until 10 at night, but with severe weather, those hours are extended. The phone number for their service is 877-367-5982, and we have that online as well. Warming stations began popping up across Laurel County today as temperatures continued to drop. Volunteers at the Creek Church and the East Bernstadt Fire Department say dangerously cold temperatures still count as an emergency, fearing many in their region may not have proper heat inside their homes. To keep each person comfortable, they offered couches, coffee, and snacks for the taking.
With these temperatures, it doesn't take long for someone to become hypothermic, which could lead to a lot of dangerous situations, even death if they get cold enough. Don't be embarrassed. Go to the local shelters, wherever the warming stations are. We're here. We don't mind. We'll make you as comfortable as possible, just like any place else out there.
You can find a list of those warming stations in Laurel County on our website, WYMT.com. Magoffin County's judge executive has people who work for the county. He had them stay inside today. He cited the brutally cold temperatures as the reason. Many county workers, such as those at the Magoffin County recycling plant, changed up their routine a little bit today. Instead of going from business to business, they worked from inside the plant.
They can bring in their recycling drop-offs. We'll sort through that and do what we normally do every day, but we're usually not all in here at the same time. So today we're kind of getting a jump start on whatever maintenance needs to be done, things cleaned up around the shop, just trying to help out the guys that are usually here by themselves.
Workers at the county maintenance garage, who are usually out and about as well, spent the day tidying up the shop and repairing a few cars. A sad story coming out of this cold weather in Pulaski County. The coroner says a 12-year-old boy was killed this morning in a house fire. The fire started just after 4 this morning at a home on Keeney Road near Science Hill. The boy ran back inside to save a dog that slept inside his bedroom. The parents and a 5-year-old girl escaped the fire. The Hazard Police Department needs your help finding 3 people. Take a look. Officers say these 3 people may be involved in a stolen credit card case. Anyone with information is asked to call 606-436-2222, and you can remain anonymous. A meeting to discuss a proposed annexation ordinance in the city of Martin has been canceled, at least for the time being. The original meeting was scheduled for tomorrow. Mayor Samuel Howell's office said that notices were sent to property owners whose land could be affected. According to the release, the special meeting was canceled so city council members could have more time to consider the proposal. The mayor's office said new notices will be mailed no less than 14 days before a new meeting. Former Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis is responsible for paying the legal fees of the couple she denied marriage licenses to. At least that's according to Governor Matt Bevin's attorney. Right now, the state of Kentucky is responsible for paying the legal fees, but that's under appeal. Bevin's in-house attorney, Steve Pitt, says the governor still supports Davis's actions, but believes Kentucky taxpayers should not have to pay the legal fees. Thousands of children in Kentucky do not have a permanent place to call home. They are in state custody and some are in foster care. A Florida family is now in Kentucky with the goal of placing as many of those children in loving families. Miranda Combs looks at their unique mission to build a family.
At first glance, this office, tucked in the corner of the Capitol building, doesn't have much to show. The walls are mostly bare, but in the corner, there's a single picture that says everything. Not just about the Johnson family, because that's clearly a story on its own.
I'm glad that God had a bigger plan for our life and that he didn't, he didn't show us that picture.
Yeah, because if we'd have
all
seen
at
this, we'd have run from it.
I keep wondering what your neighbors were thinking.
But the picture also illustrates the Johnsons' mission for their life.
God's word tells us to care for those at the greatest point of need. And
they call themselves the Johnson Dozen. Christopher and Alicia, married 24 years ago, had 3 kids of their own, then felt a calling.
which we've had about a little over 40 kids that we have fostered over the years.
These 10 they adopted.
We felt really God calling us to say, I want you in this full throttle.
That mission drove them from Florida to Kentucky last August.
When they offered us the opportunity to come and be a part of a solution here and really to be able to focus on what changes need to happen and what we need to do to engage others, we jumped at it.
They jumped into the middle of a Kentucky crisis. 9,700 kids are in state custody right now, meaning they are floating in foster care or some kind of temporary placement.
And I think when we're not getting them to permanency, we're absolutely letting them down. We've got to do everything in our power.
That 9,700 number is up a lot. In 2016, around 8,000 kids were in foster care. Go back to 2012, the number was in the 6,000 range.
The whole drug epidemic is just a huge part of the problem.
And the Johnsons are trying first to find quality families to foster.
But if we could get to a place where we have enough families to where that we would be able to make the best choice for that child, that's going to reduce the number of moves that have to take place.
And they want to give struggling families more help on the front end before they end up in the foster system.
So if we can go into a home and provide support for those families before it gets to that point, that's a wonderful thing.
But if that's not possible, they want the other option to look something like this. A loving family.
This was the last picture that we had with our whole family complete.
That goes through life.
Our one son here, Ethan, actually died in a car accident. It was a work-related car accident. September was a year ago.
Our Annabeth, last year was our youngest. She was like, Mommy, is Ethan going to come back? Can he be with us for Christmas?
Ethan died with the love of the family he always dreamed of. A gift that family is trying to give to thousands now in Kentucky.
And if we don't do everything in our power to solve this problem now, foster care is one of those issues that if we don't do what is best for our kids, it's going to affect every part of our society.
In Frankfort, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Chris and Alicia are each being paid $82,500 a year as special advisors to the governor and First Lady. A jury awarded Kentucky Senator Rand Paul over $500,000 in damages in an assault case. Rene Boucher tackled the senator while he was doing yard work in his home in 2017, breaking his ribs. Paul will receive $582,000. He was seeking around $1.5 million. Jenny Wiley Theater faced a tough road last year. A financial setback caused management to make cuts and even to lay off some employees. The theater helps the Big Sandy region stand out. Talent from all across the U.S. has helped build up productions throughout the years and now to help steer the theater into better times. They hired a New Yorker, Robin Irwin.
I was a Broadway gal. I did a big hit called Titanic, and we won 5 Tony Awards, and it was grand.
Robin Irwin says the road to recovery is not going to be easy, but she is excited to get this year's productions started. People can expect 4 main stage productions in Pikeville. Their Footlights Academy auditions for 12th Nights will be held on February 9th. The arena floor inside the East Kentucky Expo Center is full of dirt. This weekend, the center will host a tri-state motocross event. Recently, trucks were brought in and dropped off dirt to fill the entire floor. Marketing Director Josh Kessler says with all the tricks the event has to offer, he is excited to see how kids enjoy the event.
I'm just going to be honest with you. People love dirt, and when you have dirt shows, it makes it that much more fun. There's nothing like a dirt show.
The show starts Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Parents can buy headphones to muffle some of the noise for their children, or they can bring their own. For ticket prices, you can go to our website, WYMT.com. 56 days later, police have arrested the armored truck driver accused of leaving Louisville with the money he was supposed to be protecting. Mark Espinosa, the former Garda World employee, was arrested on a federal warrant almost 900 miles away in Connecticut near Hartford. Reporter Myra Ansari spoke with his father. He had no idea about his son's arrest.
I'm with Wave 3 News. My name is Myra. Do you mind if I talk to you for a second? Did you hear that there was a development today that they arrested your son in Connecticut?
Really?
Yes.
Nuh-uh. In Connecticut? I would think the last place he would go is his hometown. I mean, that's the first place they're gonna look for him. Because if he's been in Connecticut all this time, somebody's been helping him over there. So he's not gonna, I mean, I just hope he cooperates to make it easy on himself.
This is a lot for you to take in.
It's okay. I mean, I'm glad he's alive, you know, but I mean, he has no idea what he has coming. He knows what he did was wrong. Now he's got to pay for it. What? For what? 2 months? 2 months with somebody else's money? He didn't even get to spend it. He didn't get nothing out of this but ruin the rest of his life.
If you could say anything to him right now, what would you want to say to him?
I don't know. What can I say? Why did you do this? You didn't need this. He didn't need anything. Got greedy, I guess. This whole thing is like a nightmare. I'm just glad it's over. It's over. At least I know that my son's okay, and now he just got to pay for his. Now he got to go to court and face the music. He's not as smart as he thought he was.
Again, that was reporter Myra Ansari with our sister station in Louisville. Espinosa went missing along with hundreds of thousands of dollars back in December. His belongings, including his weapon and ID, were found inside the truck. There were no signs of a struggle. Coming up at 11, harsh winter weather smacked many parts of the northern U.S. We'll take a look.
And that winter weather is impacting us. Some light snow is possible. The cold temperatures, that'll be the main story. Those details are coming up.